Breaking overnight, police in California are investigating what led to a highway shootout that left one officer dead.
Plus, a trial begins today for the Madison man accused of shooting a teenager near a city high school.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, folks, and thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. It is August 13th. We're not so sure that the forecast is the most beautiful thing.
Right. I mean, we could take it or leave it, but I want to take this sunrise this morning.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, we've been describing this forecast as a little bit. I mean, there's a lot going on, I would say. Not all of it great, but this sunrise gets an Owen Wilson wow from me. Hopefully I'm allowed to say that. Doppler track is showing a few showers up to the north and west closer to Camp Douglas. I don't really expect those to impact many of us this morning. This afternoon, some showers and thunderstorms are possible. Here's that wow sunrise in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. How many times can I fit that into this forecast? We'll see. Visibility is a little bit reduced. Once again, we're starting off with some fog. 3/4 of a mile visibility in Madison, less than 1/4 of a mile in the Wisconsin Dells, and 1/4 of a mile in Lone Rock. So keep in mind some patchy dense fog could be out there once again as you're starting your morning commute. Temperatures are in the upper 60s in Madison, lower 70s in Janesville, and 66 in Lone Rock, 70 in Mineral Point. Temperatures and winds over the next 12 hours, we'll see those temps rise through the 60s this morning. Maybe a little bit of blue sky later on today. Hopefully we get a little bit of sunshine before any showers and thunderstorms roll through. Highs should make it into the mid to upper 70s under, we'll call it variably cloudy skies. Here is a look at your first alert traffic update. Broadway and the Beltline, no major problems showing up there. No major accidents or incidents to report across Dane County. Traffic generally heading out at the posted speed. Starting to see a couple of brake lights at the interchange close to Stoughton Road and the Beltline. Other than that, things looking pretty good. Everything's showing up green. 27 minutes right now from Janesville to the Beltline on the interstate, 16 minutes Sauk City to Middleton, and 14 minutes Sun Prairie to downtown. And that is your first alert traffic update.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. I probably didn't do that very well, but it's not bad for a Tuesday morning.
You always have us giggling on this morning show.
Well, you know, I try to make people smile.
Yeah, it works.
And then if you're smiling, you don't know if what I'm saying is correct. That's my big secret.
Strategy.
This is true.
This is strategy. Oh, my goodness.
All right, Dave. Good to have you here. Thank you.
We start this hour with breaking news into the Channel 3000 Alert Center overnight. A police officer is dead and 2 others are injured after a shooting on a freeway in Riverside, California last night. It happened just after 6 local time when a California Highway Patrol officer made a traffic stop and decided to impound that pickup truck. When the officer was filling out paperwork, the suspect pulled out a rifle from his truck and shot the officer multiple times. That officer was able to call for help, but he and the gunman later died from their injuries.
Also new overnight in the Alert Center, Rock County officials are crediting a drone with helping them find a suspect who was hiding in the bushes. A male suspect had damaged 13 tires on the property Sunday night, nearing $1,400 in damage. Shortly after, a neighbor in the area saw a male suspect on his property matching the clothing description of the original complaint. The neighbor confronted the suspect, Jerry Van Cannon, who ran away. Using a drone, officers located him and arrested him. 6:03 is your time this morning. Local law enforcement is encouraging more people to install home security devices like the Ring app to help prevent crime.
You might have seen the app in national headlines recently. It helped capture an escaped inmate in Tennessee just last week. Our Jamie Perez is here this morning with how it could help local officers. Jamie?
That inmate actually escaped from a work detail, and officials described him as extremely dangerous. Well, thanks to the Ring app and a Tennessee couple notifying their local law enforcement, police were able to capture him within 30 minutes of being notified. Now, our local sheriff's office is using this as an example of how home security can keep you and the community safe in the future. Now, they don't promote any particular home security system, but more and more sheriffs and police departments are partnering with the Ring app and the Ring neighborhood app. Homeowners who have this installed in their homes can capture surveillance video and give that video to local law enforcement to help them solve or deter crimes. It's something the Dane County Sheriff says works well.
At the end of the day, it's about solving crimes that have been committed, and through the knowledge of this technology, hopefully preventing future crimes from occurring. If the bad guys know that this type of technology has aided law enforcement in solving crimes, it may prevent them from committing their crimes in the first place.
The Sheriff's Office has partnered with the Ring app for several months now, so those who have the app and are members of the Ring Neighborhood Service can help in future investigations or emergencies like the one that just happened in Tennessee. Of course, it is entirely up to you to give that video to law enforcement if they ask for it.
Nice to have the option, though, if you really want it.
Yeah, it's up to you to decide, but by giving that video, you could essentially help police with their investigations.
Well, all right. Jamie Perez reporting for us. Jamie, thank you.
Sure.
To our other top headlines this morning, the trial for a Madison man accused in a shooting near La Follette High School will begin today. 22-year-old Dwayne Briggs faces charges of attempted intentional homicide as party to a crime in connection with that shooting that happened last fall. Briggs and another man are accused of shooting a 16-year-old near La Follette High. Briggs allegedly brought a gun to a prearranged fight in that neighborhood. His trial is scheduled to begin at 8:30 this morning.
A man listed as one of Beloit's most wanted for the past 5 years is now in police custody this morning. Robert Henry Connor was arrested just days ago in relation to a 2014 hit-and-run crash in the city of Beloit. According to police, he was found in Columbia County, New York. The February 2014 crash sent 2 men to the hospital, one of which spoke to News 3 Now last night.
When the thing told me I was hit at 80 and the car flipped down the road, that's kind of reckless. I mean, that's not anything that was done on accident by any means. You know, it was strictly intentional.
Christian Witt suffered a brain injury in that accident. Connor will appear in court again this Friday.
This morning, loud noises on Madison's north side that might have woken you up past midnight are coming from F-16 fighter jets. The State Department of Military Affairs says they left Truex Field between 1 and 4 this morning for what they're calling worldwide contingency operations. Takeoffs were scheduled to wrap up by 4 a.m.
Attorneys for one of the UW football team's former players are making their final plea to readmit him to the university before the fall semester starts. Quintez Cephas filed a petition with the university to allow him to return after being found not guilty on sexual assault charges. But his attorneys say the university hasn't responded yet, and in doing that, they claim the school is effectively refusing his request.
Stop slow walking this. Stop throwing up obstacles to do what's right. Please, Chancellor, please, Board of Regents, do the right thing.
I am not angry at all. The whole time I've had the support of my brothers and everybody who knew me. And I've had a chance to, show my real character outside of sports.
Now, in a response from UW-Madison, officials say they're still obtaining relevant court records, saying, quote, "We are working to gather this information currently and will complete our review of the petition as quickly as possible once we have it."
At the state capitol today, leaders are talking about how to make sure your vote is safe in upcoming elections. The Wisconsin Elections Commission is meeting this morning to talk about how to increase hardware security at the ballot box. This comes after a report last week that at least a handful of local clerks are still using Windows systems that are no longer supported, like Windows 7 or Windows XP. The commission wants to create a hardware loan program so those clerks can use updated computers for this next election. That meeting starts this morning at 9 a.m.
Around the state this morning, Governor Tony Evers is putting in some work with government officials to fix the roads in Wausau. With the new budget, the Department of Transportation says that they can expect more orange cones and barrels as they work on fixing potholes and rough roads. Evers says these fixes come with fee increases, but he says taxpayers shouldn't see those fees go up every time roads need to be fixed.
We put a high bar out there for the legislature as it related to transportation, and they came through in a way that is going to help our cities and our municipalities and frankly, all across the state of Wisconsin.
Last month, the state budget as passed by the Republican-controlled legislature included $90 million for local road projects. Governor Evers vetoed it down to $75 million.
The governor also urging President Trump to end his trade war with other countries this morning because they're hurting Wisconsin farmers. Governor Evers made that plea in a letter to the White House. He says farmers in Wisconsin are suffering from a, quote, triple whammy of trade uncertainty, low commodity prices, and bad weather.
More local news this morning. There are 6 beaches in Dane County closed this morning due to blue-green algae, and a local dog owner is giving us a reminder on how dangerous the bacteria can be for your pets. Christopher Celli rushed his dog to the vet after he started showing extreme symptoms of weakness, vomiting, and seizure-like behavior. Those symptoms started just hours after he'd gone swimming in the lagoon at Tenney Park. The vet was able to save his life, but Larry suffered severe liver damage and is still recovering. Chelly and his vet think that cyanobacteria, known as blue-green algae, could be the cause.
I hope that we can find out if this is really bad enough water that it can kill a dog in one night.
Chelly says the Department of Health is testing the water for cyanobacteria toxins. Public health officials say that toxin can be especially harmful to dogs because of their size.
What a scary situation for that pet owner.
Something you have to watch right now, especially was getting later in the summer too.
Definitely.
6:10 is your time this morning. So Lee and I think a lifetime of pasta sounds pretty good.
I'll take it.
We love our carbs. And Olive Garden is going to make that a reality. We'll tell you how coming up next.
Plus, Dave Caulfield's taking over for Hattie this morning, bringing us an update on how your work week forecast is shaping up. Looks like it might be a foggy one out there, folks. He's in next on News 3 Now this morning. Stay with us.
Happy Tuesday. Good morning. Starting off with some more patchy, dense fog across southern Wisconsin on this Tuesday morning. We have that humidity still with us across the area, and it's not really going to go anywhere throughout this Tuesday. A couple more showers and storms possible later this afternoon and evening. So let's take a look at weather track. We noticed that the bulk of the shower and thunderstorm activity is well off to the south. That was that heavy rain, or that's the axis of heavy rain that could have visited southern Wisconsin. It actually looked over the past couple of days like it would, but luckily we saw that heaviest axis shift to the south and affect spots like Missouri into Illinois. Anywhere from about 3.5 to 5 inches of rain over the last 24 hours estimated by radar closer to St. Louis. Now closer to Madison, We did pick up some spots of about a half an inch to an inch of rain, but very isolated. Much of that rain was pretty light yesterday, and we're looking at some light showers continuing to move closer to Camp Douglas. Maybe the Wisconsin Dells picking up some sprinkles and light showers later this morning, but I think the rest of us need to pay attention to this afternoon and evening for those shower chances. Platteville and our Queen Bee Radio Skycam, we are seeing the clouds, but also a little bit of sunshine right now in this part of Grant County. Visibility starting to improve in spots like Watertown, but still we're looking at that patchy dense fog in Madison, the Dells, and in Lone Rock, Platteville, not looking too bad on the visibility front. Temperatures are in the mid-60s in Madison, low 70s in Janesville, 67 in Watertown, and right around 70 in Platteville. Dew points pretty close to those temperatures. That's the reason why we're seeing that dense fog once again to start us off this morning. So keep that in mind. If you are heading out over the next couple of minutes, you may encounter some of that dense fog, and you may want to give yourself just a few extra minutes to navigate it on the roadways this morning. On Future Track, a few showers and storms possible later this afternoon into early this evening. Some of those storms could be on the strong side, especially across southwestern Wisconsin. Not too concerned about that, but we'll keep an eye on it. Into Wednesday, some more showers and storms possible. Generally picking up about a half an inch of rain across southern Wisconsin, but with the humidity still in place, there is downpour potential. So we could see some areas of about an inch to an inch and a half of rain, depending on where those heaviest showers do set up. 7 to 10 day forecast showing the low 70s on Wednesday, barely getting to 70. Cloudy skies with a slight chance of a shower and storm Wednesday. Then the sunshine should return by Thursday. We're in the mid 70s, back into the 80s with the humidity coming back on Saturday and Sunday, and some chances for showers and storms as well as we head into this weekend and for the middle of next week as well. We stay in the 80s for the I was going to say the third, yeah, the last third of August as we get into next week. Already the month is about half over, which is crazy. And let's take a look at your first alert. Traffic updates right now, taking a live look at our traffic map here. No major accidents or incidents to report. Starting to see some volume on the interchange close to Stoughton Road, but no major accidents across Dane County. Traffic generally heading out at the posted speeds. Downtown, starting to see a few brake lights, but nothing too bad at the present time. Your drive times, Verona to the Beltline northbound on 151, a little bit slow, 6 minutes with an average speed of around 40 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic update.
Dave, thank you so much. My tummy's already talking this morning, and a fast food favorite is making it worse. Wendy's that fast food chain is actually celebrating in a big way. Spicy chicken nuggets are officially back on the menu, and now the company is giving away 2 million of them for free. That number represents the amount of people who helped push them back onto the menu. Wendy's had promised in May that it would sell spicy chicken nuggets again if 2 million people liked a tweet. To get in on that deal, you just have to order through DoorDash and use the code SPICYNUGS.
Sold.
The deal lasts through August 18th and as long as supplies last.
I love those spicy nugs. I'm getting in line. All right, over at Olive Garden, a new deal is offering pasta for a lifetime.
What?
The restaurant chain says it is introducing a lifetime pasta pass this Thursday. Josh and I already signed up. It includes a lifetime of unlimited servings of any pasta bowl, along with unlimited soup or salad, and this is the kicker, folks, the breadsticks, the infamous breadsticks. The deal is an upgrade to Olive Garden's never-ending pasta pass, which is $100. The first 50 people who buy those passes will be able to opt into the lifetime pass, which will cost you an extra $400.
$400?
For that many carbs? I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
Lifetime?
I mean, I like pasta, but...
Little fettuccine Alfredo, I'll take it.
We'll keep the theme going here. Nothing says fall like a pumpkin spice latte. The drink has become a seasonal favorite at Starbucks, and this year customers won't have to wait until the fall to get it. In fact, you don't even have to wait for Labor Day. Yeah, that's right. Starbucks says the lattes will be on the menu starting August 27th. Yes, August 27th.
I might be the only woman in the entire country who does not love pumpkin spice lattes. There's so much sugar in those drinks.
I like pumpkin spice. I just don't
Ditto.
like the latte.
Ditto. Skip the sugar.
But it does get me excited because fall is my favorite season.
Yes.
Still, though, Summer has not been long enough yet. I can't really think about it yet.
That's
so.
fair, but fall is next. And
It is true.
again, just a beautiful season in Wisconsin.
Especially in Wisconsin.
Definitely. Okay, 6:19 your time on this Tuesday. In light of recent mass shootings across the country, first responders here in Wisconsin want to be prepared. We're sharing how they are practicing to keep our communities safe. That's coming up after the break.
And there's a slightly overcast forecast coming up from Dave Caulfield. He's in next with your Tuesday day planner. Keep watching News 3 Now this morning.
Boy, for a meh day, we've just got a gorgeous sunrise out there.
Yeah, I mean, not all of the day will be meh.
We're really selling this Tuesday, aren't we?
I know. I shouldn't be a salesman.
See, I thought at 5:30 was and now it's meh.
Yeah, I mean, we added the M.
So it's getting better?
Yeah, I think that's an improvement. Show me your scales of and versus meh. Tweet them at me. We're talking about a great sunrise, though. The fog and the sunshine creating a really, really nice picture across southern Wisconsin on the Queen Bee Radio Skycam. So visibility in Platteville right now around 5 miles, and that is creating this gorgeous shot in this part of Grant County. 66 right now in Madison, 68 for a temperature in Mineral Point and Platteville, and 72 in Janesville. Wind speeds are calm, which is part of the reason why we're seeing that fog once again set up across southern Wisconsin. So that fog could be a little bit dense in spots. Keep that in mind early this morning. So you may want to give yourself just a few extra minutes to navigate it, especially in those valley areas. You know where you are, where that fog typically sets up. Temperatures rising through the 60s into the mid-70s by later this afternoon, and we could see some more showers and thunderstorms as we head into the next few hours, and especially this afternoon and evening. And temperatures will be in the mid-70s as we head into the next couple of days, and especially on Thursday. That is looking like the banner day here with highs in the mid-70s and plenty of sunshine. And that is your first alert forecast.
Thank you very much, Dave. 6:24 your time now. Around the state this morning, police officers and firefighters up in Oshkosh are training for anything following last week's mass shootings in Texas and Ohio. Multiple departments came together yesterday to put their training to test. The exercise allowed all of the participating departments, along with members of the city's school district, to test training protocol in a real-time scenario.
It's close to home. It's sobering when you think that we have to train for something like this.
Our kids are our most important treasure for each of us, and we want to make sure that we can respond appropriately to any incident that involves any of our children. It's near and dear to each and every one of us, and we want to make sure that we take care of our kids.
School district staff and administration helped during that training, barricading themselves inside. Staff say the exercise is crucial to help departments better prepare for emergency situations.
Local law enforcement officers are working to raise money for Special Olympics tonight, all with your help. It is time to tip a cop at Buffalo Wild Wings in Fitchburg, where 10% of the food sales will be donated to Special Olympics Wisconsin. Local law enforcement will be helping bus tables tonight while collecting tips benefiting that organization. Mounted officers will also be on horseback in the parking lot starting at around 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Also tonight, the Monona Police, Fire, and Parks Departments are hosting their National Night Out. It's a family-friendly event with bouncy houses, kids' games, fire trucks, and a special appearance by the police canine, Maya. The event gives community members a chance to meet their neighbors and the people who keep them safe daily. It's part of that national initiative aiming to raise awareness between neighbors and local law enforcement. That starts at 6 and runs until 9 over at Monona Parks and Recreation.
The city of Monona could soon be getting sidewalks installed, but it'll be a long road to get there. The State Journal reports the proposal would add 9 miles worth of sidewalks to Monona. Right now, sidewalks only exist on one or both sides of around the 13 of roughly 44 miles of street. The earliest the city council could accept that plan is on the 19th, and then it's likely that work wouldn't start until 2021. All right, still ahead for us on a Tuesday morning, we've got the top 3 things you need to know before you head out the door.
And our Jamie Perez is breaking down how the Ring app could do more than help protect your home. It could help officers protect our community. That's when News 3 Now this morning returns. Stay with us.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks, and thanks for waking up with us on your Tuesday, August 13th. Dave Caulfield is tracking a bit of a rainy Tuesday in store for us here in southern Wisconsin.
We'll get to his forecast here in just a moment, but first let's get right to the top 3 things that you need to know this morning. First, a police officer is dead and 2 others are injured after a shooting on a freeway in Riverside, California last night. A California Highway Patrol officer made a traffic stop and decided to impound the pickup truck. And when the officer was filling out that paperwork, the suspect pulled out a rifle from the truck and shot the officer multiple times. That officer was able to broadcast that he needed assistance. Both that officer and the gunman later died from injuries from a shootout.
The second story we're following this morning, a man who's been on Beloit's most wanted list for the past 5 years is now in police custody. Robert Henry Connor was arrested just days ago in connection with the 2014 hit-and-run crash in the city of Beloit. Police say he was found in Columbia County, New York. That February 2014 crash sent 2 men to the hospital. And rounding out the top 3 this morning, attorneys for one of the UW's football team's former players is making their plea to readmit him to the university before the fall semester starts. Quintez Cephas filed a petition with the university to allow him to return after being found not guilty on sexual assault charges. But his attorneys say the university hasn't responded yet. The university says they're waiting to receive more records from the court case before making a decision. Those are the top 3 stories we're following this morning. Dave has an update on weather and traffic. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Leah and Josh. Once again, we are watching some patchy, dense fog this morning across southern Wisconsin. Starting to see some of that break up, though, in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam, and also starting to see a beautiful sunrise. Look at that sunshine peeking out there over the horizon. Weather track showing most of us are dry, but there is a batch of showers and clouds across portions of the state closer to Black River Falls and Camp Douglas, moving into Juneau County. I think spots like the Dells, maybe Baraboo, could pick up a few showers this morning. The rest of us should be dry until this afternoon. So north of Madison, you may want to have the umbrella ready to go for the next couple of hours at least. Temperatures are in the mid-60s in Madison, low 70s in Janesville, and closer to the mid-60s in the Dells. Temperatures are moving through the 60s this morning into the 70s by this afternoon. That fog should break up over the next couple of hours, and then highs in the upper 70s today with a chance of showers and storms. So here's your first alert traffic update. On our traffic map, not too much popping up at the present time. Some brake lights here and there, but everything generally moving pretty smoothly. Here are your drive times. Oregon to the Beltline, that'll cost you 7 minutes with an average speed of around 70 miles per hour on Highway 14. And eastbound Springfield to University Ave, that's 5 minutes this morning with an average speed of around 55 miles per hour. That is your first alert traffic update.
Thank you very much, Dave. 6:33 your time on this Tuesday. The Dane County Sheriff's Office wants to use your home surveillance technology to help them solve crimes.
We're talking about the popular Ring app, the camera inside your doorbell that could potentially scare away robbers. Jamie Perez is here breaking it down for us this morning. Jamie, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. And this is just another tool that local law enforcement can use. They say that really any surveillance video will work, but they do actually partner with the Ring neighborhood app where they can request access to your video to help stop and prevent crime. Now, the Ring app works through a home surveillance camera where you can see anyone who comes near or on your property. It's helped law enforcement all over the country identify criminals and get leads on suspects of crimes. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says the more people who use this technology, the better, because it deters criminals from committing crimes if they know that all eyes are on them at all times.
It's another tool to assist in identifying suspects and solving crimes and bringing a resolution to victims of crime.
Law enforcement can request video from anyone who uses the Ring app, but you also have the right to deny them access to this video if you choose to do that as well. Sheriff Dave Mahoney says they will not press people for access to your video, but that it does help them in cases like what happened in Tennessee that could potentially happen here as well.
All right, some good stuff to use. I mean, technology changing every day, Jamie.
Yeah, definitely an interesting concept for sure.
All right, thank you so much.
Sure.
Still ahead this morning, football season is almost upon us, so that means the Packers and the Badgers are on full-on training mode right now.
And if you are a Badgers fan, a new ranking from Sports Illustrated gives a great reason to jump around even more. We'll tell you when News 3 Now This Morning continues in a moment. Welcome back at 6:38. We've been asking you to share your morning with us, and Pat Sparling is sharing a sunrise on the home front in Janesville this morning.
We called this quintessential Wisconsin, right?
Such a beautiful shot there. You got the corn, the sky, the highway. Just letting it all go.
Pat giving us a reminder of why we're so lucky to live in this state. Thank you so much for sharing, Pat.
If you've got a photo that you'd like to share with us of your morning, all you have to do is take a picture, post it to our Channel 3000 social media pages, and use the hashtag MyNews3Morning. College football season is right around the corner, and a list from Sports Illustrated is making us even more excited to jump around in just a few weeks. The publication's ranking of college football's greatest college towns was released yesterday, and Madison is ranked #1.
Who's surprised?
I know, seriously, this is awesome. They say the town might be the most delightful spot in the entire Midwest. The Badgers' first home game is September 7th against Central Michigan.
Speaking of the Badgers, we are 11 practices into fall camp for the football team, and head coach Paul Christ, he's making that team work. The guys were out there for almost 3 hours yesterday. Even though they're not quite in week 1 shape just yet, defensive coordinator Jim Leonard likes the progress he's seen so far, seeing how these younger players have made strides in understanding the defensive scheme.
I see that with a number of young players who I think at times last year were just playing and playing plays and not really thinking about situations. So anytime you get youth and you gain some experience, you have to find a way to turn that into confidence. If you can't turn it into confidence, you're still just in the same spot. And I see a lot of guys playing with a little bit different edge.
A former Whitewater football player is gunning for the front of the line when it comes to the #2 spot behind Devontae Adams. Jake Kumaro could be that guy for the Packers if he stays healthy and keeps producing. If he shows or keeps showing out to those practice, those reps will come. So head coach Matt Fleur was asked if Jake's had a bad practice since he's been head coach.
Jake? Oh, no, yeah. No, I love what he brings to the table each and every day. However we practice is probably going to be how we play. So if we play with that kind of energy, that kind of intensity, that urgency, I think we're gonna put a better product on the field.
Oh, I just love football season.
It's just right here. We're at the doorsteps already.
The end of summer.
Love it.
All right, we are looking at a cool and cloudy start to the work week on your Tuesday, but things could clear up over the next couple of days. We're looking at a gorgeous Thursday to come. Dave Caulfield has those details coming up in his extended forecast after the break.
But first, it is August 13th, and we want to say happy birthday to Connor, Mac, Layla, Parker, and all the other kids turning 3 today. You're watching News 3 Now this morning. We thank you for that, and we will be right back.
Look at
Boy, we might have a foggy Tuesday morning out there, but it makes for a gorgeous shot over Lake Mendota.
A live look at the best sports city right there.
That's right, folks. I love that.
Isn't that amazing?
Right ahead of football season.
Great
Dave,
sunrise shot.
it's not really feeling like football season out there, though, is it?
No, the humidity is a little bit too high. Temperatures, though, will be a little bit closer to fall for the rest of this week with highs in the 70s, but by this weekend we're back into the 80s and that humidity comes back. Isn't that fun? We're looking at Doppler track and we do have a batch of showers that are weakening over the past few hours closer to Camp Douglas, but I would say spots north of Madison, be prepared to see a few raindrops later on this morning. The rest of us need to have the umbrella ready for this afternoon and evening as another batch of showers and storms is possible. And some of those storms, especially for southwestern Wisconsin, could be on the strong side where some of us are under a marginal risk. That's level 1 of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. So a few of those storms could pack a bit of a punch at times. As far as rain chances go, we will probably be dry in Madison up until this afternoon and evening. We're right on that cusp of where we might need the umbrella, so let's have it ready to go. Wands at the ready to speak Harry Potter, speak to everyone out there. As we get into tomorrow, I think we'll be probably dry, but again, that slight chance of a shower and storm can't be ruled out. When we have this humidity in the air, it doesn't really take much to spark a few showers. So that's kind of the angle that we're going at it as far as this forecast goes. Madison, the Edgewater Skycam, we are looking at that shallow fog once again in spots like Madison and in Lone Rock where the visibility has been down for most of the morning. So if you are heading out and about over the next couple of minutes, keep in mind you may have to get through some of the foggy spots. Give yourself a few extra minutes. Forecast high today, 78. It's going to be a little bit below normal for this time of year. Right now, those temperatures in the upper 60s in Madison, low 70s in Janesville, getting our kicks on Route 66 in Watertown, and in Boscobel we are at 68 degrees. Dew points are pretty close to those temperatures, and that's part of the reason, along with some light winds, why we're seeing that fog set up once again early this morning. That humidity just doesn't have anywhere to go. The wind not blowing it around at all, so it settles and creates that fog. We need that sunshine to help get those temperatures up to get rid of that fog, which will happen over the next couple of hours. Speaking of temperatures, we're actually well below normal for Wednesday and Thursday in the low 70s, but by the time we get to the weekend, we're back into the mid 80s with that humidity returning. So summer not quite done with us just yet across southern Wisconsin. On future track, we noticed that those showers and storms staying mainly north and west of Madison early this morning, but into the afternoon and evening, we could see another batch roll through south central Wisconsin. So the umbrellas probably will be needed for some of us. Then as we get into the overnight hours, possibly another round of showers and storms. We just keep getting these small disturbances, and with the humidity in place, as I mentioned, doesn't really take much to see those showers spark up at times. As we head into Thursday, though, I do think that sunshine does return to southern Wisconsin, and we will see temperatures in the mid 70s, upper 70s Friday, slight chance of a shower and storm. Then as we head into the weekend, we're back into the mid 80s for Saturday. Showers and storms becoming a little bit more likely, and we stay in the 80s for much of next week as we enter the last third of August. Not a lot of sunshine today, maybe some patches, a lot more sunshine in that photo, but Maddie is bringing a lot of smiles in the north woods of Wisconsin. By this afternoon, temperatures in the upper 70s, maybe a shower and storm. I think the north woods will be dry, but can't really say the same for the south woods of Wisconsin. Not a technical term, don't look that up.
Boy, that's
but that's a
place to
great
be.
photo.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Yep.
The morning spread is up next, but first here's Tony DeCopo with a look at what's coming up at 7 o'clock. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS this morning, nearly 30 million people in the mid-Atlantic face a risk of severe weather. We're tracking possible tornadoes and potentially deadly flash flooding. Plus, shock gives way to anger following the apparent suicide of Jeffrey Epstein. The lingering questions about who was supposed to be watching him on the day he died. We'll see you at 7.
6:52, time for the morning sprint as we give you the most local news to start off your Tuesday.
We start with breaking news into the Channel 3000 Alert Center overnight. A police officer is dead and 2 others are injured after a shooting on a freeway in California. Yesterday evening, a highway patrol officer was shot while making a traffic stop. He was able to call for help, but he and the gunman both died from their injuries in that shootout.
Also breaking overnight, police in Australia say members of the public helped restrain a man who tried to stab multiple people. One woman was stabbed and taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police believe it was an unprovoked attack.
The trial for a Madison man accused in a shooting near La Follette High School will begin today. 22-year-old Dwayne Briggs faces charges of attempted intentional homicide as party to a crime in connection with that shooting that happened last fall. Briggs and another man are accused of shooting a 16-year-old. Briggs allegedly brought a gun to a prearranged fight.
New overnight, Rock County officials are crediting a drone with helping them find a suspect who was hiding in the bushes. A male suspect had damaged 13 tires on the property Sunday night, nearing $1,400 in damage. Shortly after, a neighbor in the area saw a male suspect on his property matching the clothing description of the original complaint. The neighbor confronted the suspect, Jerry Van Cannon, who ran away. Using a drone, officers were able to locate him and arrest him.
A man listed as one of Beloit's most wanted for the past 5 years is now in police custody. Robert Henry Connor was arrested just days ago in relation to a 2014 hit-and-run crash in the city of Beloit. Police say he was found in Columbia County, New York. The February 2014 crash had sent 2 men to the hospital.
Local law enforcement is encouraging people to install home surveillance devices after a dangerous inmate escaped who was captured thanks to a Tennessee couple's Ring app. The Dane County Sheriff's Office partners with Ring Neighborhood currently. It allows them to request video from anyone who uses the app to help with their investigations. They say the more people who have them, the more criminals will be deterred from committing crimes, knowing eyes are on them at all times.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Police officers and firefighters in Oshkosh are training for anything following last week's mass shootings in Texas and Ohio. School district staff and administration helped during the training, barricading themselves inside. Staff say the exercise is crucial to help departments better prepare for emergency situations.
Attorneys for one of the UW football team's former players are making their final plea to readmit him to the university before the fall semester starts. Quintez Cephas filed a petition with the university to allow him to return after being found not guilty on sexual assault charges. But his attorneys say the university hasn't responded yet. The university says they're waiting to receive more records from the court case before making a decision.
Once again, starting off with fog across portions of southern Wisconsin. Here's our look on the WISC-TV Skycam with some dense fog in portions of Madison. Visibility up to 3 miles in Madison at 1/4 mile in Lone Rock. So keep that in mind over the next couple of hours as you are starting off your morning. Temperatures will rise into the mid to upper 70s under mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. We still could see some additional showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and evening.
Thank you very much, Dave. Tonight, the Monona Police, Fire, and Parks Departments are hosting their National Night Out. It's a family-friendly event with bouncy houses, kids' games, fire trucks, and the police canine, Maya. It's part of a national initiative aiming to raise awareness between neighbors and their local law enforcement. It's happening from 6 until 9 p.m. at Monona Parks and Recreation.
The Wisconsin Elections Commission is meeting to talk about how to increase hardware security at the ballot box. This comes after a report last week that at least a handful of local clerks are still using Windows systems that are no longer supported. The commission wants to create a hardware loan program so clerks can use the updated computers for the next election. The meeting starts this morning at 9 a.m.
Governor Evers is putting in some work with government officials to fix roads up in Wausau. With the new budget, the Department of Transportation says you should see more orange barrels as they work on fixing potholes and rough roads across the state. Evers says these fixes do come with fee increases, but he says taxpayers should not see those fees go up every time roads need to be fixed.
The governor is also urging President Trump to end his trade wars with other countries because they're hurting Wisconsin farmers. Governor Evers sent Trump a letter yesterday asking him to end the dispute. He says farmers in Wisconsin are still suffering a triple whammy of the trade uncertainty with all the other things going on.
The Speaker's Task Force on Water Quality is meeting today in Milwaukee to talk with city leaders and local companies there about the issue. Water quality has been a problem across the state, from pipes in Milwaukee to well water out in southwest Wisconsin. As such, Governor Evers has dubbed 2019 the Year of Clean Drinking Water.
6:56 right now. Let's get a final check of your first alert traffic with Josh Tim. Hi, Josh.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Starting to see the usual crowd on the westbound Beltline between Stoughton Road and West Broadway. It's going to add a couple minutes to your drive time. Inbound side of John Nolan, you're picking up at Rimrock and then again at Olin Avenue moving into the downtown area. Give yourself a couple minutes on the northbound side of Verona Road between Highway PD and the Beltline. And other main routes, including the interstate, they're cruising at the usual speeds with no major issues. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thanks, Josh.
A little bit of a foggy start in spots across southern Wisconsin. Some of that fog is pretty dense, so may slow you down a little bit on the roadways. Give yourself a few extra minutes. In Madison, we are still seeing some of that shallow fog on the Edgewater Skycam. Temperatures starting off in the 60s this morning, then we'll be in the mid to upper 70s with mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. Hopefully a little bit of sunshine before some showers and thunderstorms do return to the forecast for this afternoon and evening. 7 to 10 day forecast showing cooler weather on the way on Wednesday. Thursday looking like a nice day with sunshine and highs in the 70s.
All right, Dave, thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us this morning, folks. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Have a good one.